Today in the Fresh Brew Run Club, my predictions for the Nike INvincible 4. Welcome to the Fresh Brew Run Club. Today's video, I'm going to get into a little bit of speculation, a little harmless speculation, if you will, and that is centered around a shoe that I do not know if it exists yet, the Nike INvincible 4. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for any length of time, you know that I've been a big fan of the Nike INvincible. This is Nike's maximum cushioning shoe. Great for easy runs, great for long runs, great for just churning through those longer, slower miles without hurting your feet. So this shoe came out about 3 years ago. This is the V1 version. Then they had the Nike INvincible 2, which was basically the same exact shoe. And then most recently they came out with the INvincible 3, which was a pretty significant departure from the INvincible 1 and 2. It's a fairly controversial shoe. I covered all of that in previous videos, so I'm not going to get into this too much, but I will say a lot of people were very upset with this shoe, and then there were people that actually really liked this shoe for the changes that Nike made. So what I want to talk about in this video is the Nike INvincible 4. Like I said, I don't even know if this shoe exists. I have no inside information. I haven't seen any leaks on Reddit or Twitter or Instagram to indicate that the INvincible 4 is a shoe that's actually going to exist, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume that it will come out sometime, probably next year, late winter, early spring, as all of the other previous Invincibles have come out. So let's jump right into it. From a design standpoint, Nike and many other running shoe companies typically operate in cycles where they will launch a shoe, such as the INvincible 1, and then the V2 version of that shoe will basically be the same with some slight tweaks. So if the INvincible 1 and 2, pretty much the same shoe, and then the INvincible 3 came out, which was a complete redesign of the outsole, the midsole, and the upper. My prediction for the INvincible 4 is we will see the same outsole and the same midsole. Now this could be bad news for a lot of people who really liked the super plush, squishy feel of the original versions of the Invincibles that was kind of replaced with a little bit of a firmer, almost a denser foam. Plus there was a Strobel board on the inside of this shoe that gave it a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of rigidity. So I don't expect to see major changes, and this is just based on what Nike and other brands typically do with their shoe rotations. They don't do full-scale redesigns from a year-to-year basis. They'll typically update it in 2 to 3 year cycles, and I don't think this will be an exception. So I expect to see the exact same outsole and midsole on the INvincible 4. Now, some of the differences, and this gets into what people really hated about the INvincible 3, and that is the heel collar. People got very, very, very upset about the heel slip, the lack of heel lock, which is how the shoe sort of clamps around your ankle. A lot of people complained about this. On my first run in the INvincible 3, and I've told this story so many times I'm getting sick of telling it, but on my first run in the INvincible 3, I did notice the heel slip. My heel was slipping in this shoe, but after 1 mile, I stopped, I put my foot up on a bench, and I retied my shoes using a runner's knot, and the issue went away, and now I'm almost to 250 miles in these shoes. So it is not an issue for me, but I know it frustrated a lot of people, and everybody's foot is different, so maybe you did tie a runner's knot and it still didn't work out for you. That's the #1 complaint I saw on my videos, on Instagram, on other people's YouTube videos. Like, the heel slip was a problem for a lot of people. I fully expect to see a lot of padding on the inside of the INvincible 4 that is going to help lock the shoe down. I do think it's interesting. One of the criticisms of the first 2 versions of the Invincibles were there was too much padding in the heel area, and then they kind of went to the extreme and didn't have very much padding at all. I think we're going to find a nice happy medium where the heel lock is fixed by just making it a little bit tighter. I don't know the physics of how to make a shoe tighter around your heel other than adding some padding in. There really isn't much padding there, so I think that'll be a pretty obvious change. So I expect to see improvements to the heel lock and padding on the inside, especially in that heel area. So my next prediction is that I think we will see some updates to the upper. So I don't know, I think it's going to look a little bit different. I don't think it's going to be drastic other than what I talked about with the heel area. Maybe a little more ventilation. It's kind of a shoe that runs a little bit hot. It's a tight weave and kind of has this waxy feel on the outside. So I don't think it's a super breathable shoe. So we'll see, but I don't expect to see wholesale changes there, but maybe some tweaks to the Flyknit material and how it's stitched together. But again, I don't think there's going to be major changes there. My next prediction, I do think we'll see different laces. So with each Invincible, we have seen different laces. The first one had these fat, sort of stretchy laces. The second Invincible had more traditional, just almost rope kind of laces, and then the new one had these like flatter, skinnier ones, which if you did do the runner's knot, it's very hard to double knot it because the laces are a little bit short. So I think just because we've seen a different pair of laces on this shoe for every single different version that has come out, we're going to see another different version of this. Those are my predictions for the Nike Invincible 4. I would like to see a new version of this shoe. I'm curious to know your thoughts. What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to see? What do you think that Nike is going to do for the Nike Invincible 4 if it is a shoe that is going to come out? Because again, I have no idea. It might not come out and I look dumb 6 months from now, but who knows? So that is today's video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to wave this shoe in your face a little bit more, and then I'll see you soon.